some reason it's like uneven lighting. Usually the lighting's pretty okay in this corner, but I look pasty.
You are pasty. Too much pumpkin spice.
I need to get off social media. So I'm filming in my room again on the floor. Hey peeps, Emersina here. I'm back with another video, and this one is going to be a story time video about my first tattoo. And it will be about the tattoo that I have here on my right forearm. This might look like I'm pointing at my left arm. It looks like that to me in my viewfinder, but I am actually pointing on my right arm, not my left, so the mirroring effect. But yes, I have a purple watercolor semicolon butterfly on my right forearm. It was my very first tattoo, and I'm gonna tell you guys all about it and why I got it. A few months ago during the summer, I've always wanted to get tattoos since I was a teenager. Never got any until recently. When I decided to have this done, I actually sat around and was drawing things and ideas and stuff for about 4 or 5 months, and then I was mulling over the idea of a semicolon butterfly to be my first tattoo for 3 months. So with tattoos, I know that they are permanent. I know that it's going to be on my body for life, which is why I'm very, very particular and very, very picky when it comes to stuff like this. So I will take forever or as long as I need to decide on something, and I will mull on it and, you know, think about it, and I want to make absolutely sure that, you know, it's what I actually want on my body, because yes, it's permanent. I know that. I was constantly watching tattoo videos, I was watching advice videos, I was watching so many things over the last few months before I actually got my tattoo, so I knew what was expected. I knew how the stuff would work, because I'd never been to a tattoo parlor before. I've never been to a shop before, so I wanted to get all of the information in before I started my own journey of getting tattoos. In August, I got this tattoo in August right here. I was surfing through the interwebs for an artist that was close by me. I was a noob, so like I had no idea who was good, who wasn't. I knew what I wanted and what I didn't want, and I wanted to make sure that it was somebody that I vibed with and that I was okay with them putting this ink on my body. In August, I was like, okay, you know what, for sure, I am going to have this semicolon butterfly watercolor. I want it purple. I want it in this particular spot right here. So I started researching artists, and then I found one in Norman, Oklahoma, and she works at Studio Ink. All of the information about the shop that I went to in Norman will be in the description box down below. Norman is about 2 hours away from me, so it is quite a bit of travel for me to go to a consultation and this, that, and the other thing. So on August 17th, I actually met her, and she was pregnant at the time. She was kind of far along, pretty far along. So she wanted me to like give her, you know, ideas and stuff, you know, word vomit basically about what I wanted. I actually canceled another artist that I was going to go to and have a consult with, to be with this artist, to have a consult with her. So yes, yeah, I did that. But I don't feel guilty about that, because the first artist that I went to book a consult with, I changed my mind, and that's okay. And so I let them know that I changed my mind. I was like, hey, I'm sorry, I can't make it. Like, you know, I canceled the appointment and stuff like that. I'm not going to be like, oh, I'm not going to show up or anything like that. But I booked a consultation with her on August 17th, and that was when I met her. And she gave me a quote, and it was going to be $150. The $50 would be the deposit that will go towards the tattoo itself. And so I booked that day for the 19th to have my tattoo done on August 19th. And I was terrified just a little bit. on August 19th, we actually kind of made it a family trip. We made it a family affair because we were going up there to meet with friends and stuff like that we hadn't seen for a long time and hang out with another family. And we ate lunch and we had fun and we went to the park and everything. And then after the park and stuff like that, I got dropped off at the shop by myself because no kids allowed in the shop. We had all of our kids with us. So my husband was going to keep an eye on the kiddos and go off and do something while I was getting that done. Originally my plan was to have him with me for my first experience of getting a tattoo done. And I went in and I was so nervous. I was like, oh my gosh. I was super nervous because I had been watching videos over months and months and months about tattoos and tattooing and everything, but it's a different experience when you walk in and you actually get it done for yourself. Because you don't know what your pain tolerance is, you don't know how it's going to feel for you. So I walked in and the Studio Ink kind of has like this area, this open seating area, and it's like this big gallery and it has all these different kinds of pictures and artist drawings and artwork on the walls. I go in and I sit down and I'm waiting for a little bit because somebody else is getting their sleeve done, and she's doing somebody else's sleeve, which honestly looks really cool. I think I waited for about 20-30 minutes or something like that, and then he came out because he was finished and he signed out and everything, whatever he needed to do. And then she goes back to her station to kind of clean everything up because, you know, she had just finished with him. I'm waiting a little bit longer because she's got to clean up her area and set up things for us. And then she comes back to the front with like 3 or 4 different drawings and, you know, markups or sketchups or whatever you want to call them, like 3 or 4 different drawings of butterflies and their wings and stuff like that. And one of them was like legit just like a monarch butterfly, and I was like, no, I don't want that much detail. And I wanted the wings to be kind of open, and I kind of wanted it to kind of flow, and then I didn't want antennas or anything like that because that just looked really dumb to me. That was just not my personal style. I was sifting through them and going through them and like figuring out and picking out which one I wanted while she was cleaning up her station. It takes me a while because it takes me forever to make a decision on stuff like that. Like, I go back there after I've made the decision because she's already finished her cleaning up. She does the whole, like, you know, wipe my arm down and shave it and stuff, and then put stuff on it like soap and like wipe it down and stuff and everything. And then as she's putting the stencil on it, she makes it like a little bit lower, and I actually wanted it to be here, which was for a specific reason to me. Cereal. I brushed my teeth before I filmed, but got hungry. So, where were we? I was in the back, I went in the back, I sat down, blah blah blah, nervously talking and stuff. I had never been in a tattoo shop before. And this is my first time, and I'm alone. So you can just imagine the thoughts that are going on in my head, like, oh my gosh, what's going to happen? How much is it going to hurt? Blah blah blah. And so she's putting the stencil up on my arm, and she at first went like down here, and I'm like, no. Then she kind of went up here. I'm like, no, that's not really the place that I want it to be. And at this point, I felt like I was getting annoying. Like, I have this thing where I think in my head that I am being an annoying person because I'm being so picky. But I was like, no, I cannot afford to not be picky with something like this that's so permanent and something that'll just stay on me forever. She put it right here where you see it, and I was like, okay, this is where I want it. And that was the third time. Third time was the charm. So yes, finally got it to the place where I wanted it. Now I want to kind of give you a little bit of a background about the semicolon butterfly, why I chose it, and why I chose it to be in that particular spot, and why it's actually upside down, as what they would call it in the tattoo world. This will be my only upside down tattoo, And I put it in this particular spot on my arm, on my right forearm, because that was the place that I would self-harm. Yeah. And the semicolon was from the Project Semicolon that was founded a few years ago by this wonderful, wonderful, amazing person. And I don't remember her name off the top of my head. I feel so I feel so terrible about that. I will put it in this video or in the description. But yes, it's Project Semicolon, and basically it is a whole organization and mental health organization deal that's going on, that our life isn't over. Your life isn't over. And it deals with depression and suicide and, you know, self-harm and this, that, and the other thing, like so many things. And it's like, you know what, your life is not over. You know how the semicolon is used in writing, where it stops a sentence, but then it also, like, it's not completely ended yet? It's kind of like that for our life, which has a very, very deep meaning for me, because I deal with depression, I deal with anxiety. I have had postpartum depression super bad, self-harmed myself, and I have not self-harmed in, oh my goodness, I haven't self-harmed, I think, in 7 years. And butterfly, because I love butterflies and I think they're beautiful and gorgeous, and I wanted the wings to be open, so there is line work with the black, and then she filled it in with the purple. So that is everything about, a little bit about the Project Semicolon, and I will put, you know, links down below to the website and everything in the description box. Yeah, I changed the placement 3 times on my arm, and then I was satisfied with it. And then she goes to town. A lot of people would be like, no, don't get it on your forearm, no, blah, 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 you know, and I don't care. I know why people say not to have it on your forearm, because, you know, jobs and stuff like that, you gotta have a way to cover it and stuff. It's like, yeah, I get it. But also, like, I do what I want. But I totally understand it. So she gets started with the black, with the line work, and she starts to work on the lines and stuff like that. And oh my gosh, like, I just about jumped out of my skin, because it felt like a cat scratching you constantly, like a cat just scratching you constantly like this, or somebody's nails digging into your skin. But it's like constant, it doesn't go away. And then at some points it starts to feel like little pinches on your skin. At least this is what it felt like to me. So I cannot talk for everybody else that has gotten tattoos. So she starts on the line work, and the places that she hasn't been on before hurts like a mother. Which is understandable, because, you know, you're breaking into new skin, you're breaking into skin that hasn't been tattooed before. So she works on the line work and everything. She gets all of the black work done, but when she does the filling in for the semicolon, I'm just like, oh, it like hurts. The funny thing is, when she does the shading and she does the filling in for the color, when she goes over it again and again, it doesn't hurt. And I don't know why, and I don't know if it's because she's already been over it before with the gun, with the tattoo gun, but when she would do that, like after like a minute or something, after like the first time, and then she'd go in again, it didn't hurt after that. We kind of make small talk, but not too much. Like I'm not a big talker. Like I am a nervous talker though sometimes. Like I'll just start talking just because I'm nervous. I've never been through this before. The shading and the coloring on the actual wings and stuff were the worst part. Especially when she'd get over here near the edges, and like she'd get close to the bone and stuff like that. Like that just hurt really bad. Near the end she would put her own little dots and stuff, and I don't know if you could see that. But this part right here, the shading part, was the worst part to me. Like it was just like, I think it took about 40 minutes. I'm just guessing, okay, because I really did not keep track of the time, but I'm going to guess around 40 minutes or so before it was finished. And then when she was done, it was just like, oh, thank God. Like it had kind of stopped hurting, but then like she wiped it and everything and cleaned it off, and then it just felt like a sunburn after that. My arm was a bit swollen because, you know, my body hasn't been through that before. And so I had redness and my arm was like a bit swollen. Like it took a day or so for it to kind of go down, and I was keeping an eye on it and making sure that there wasn't an infection or anything like that. Like just keep a close eye on it. The healing process, after she put the thingy over it, I had to drive 2 hours back home. And then I took it off, and then I washed it very gently with warm soapy water, and then I put some Aquaphor on it, and I think I wrapped it up. I don't remember what I put over it, or if I did. I don't think I had anything to put over it just yet, but I wore a long sleeve shirt to bed so that nothing would like ooze out onto the bed and everything like that. It kind of keep it contained. Hey guys, so I woke up a few hours ago. Everybody slept in until 9:30ish, and I wore a long sleeve shirt to bed last night after I washed my tattoo after I got home, and then I put some the smallest amount of A&D on it because you really don't need that much. And I slept with a long sleeve shirt on instead of putting a towel underneath me or something in case there's any gunk or whatever that comes up from my tattoo while it's healing. I washed it this morning and put I almost thought that it was still, thanks Bubba, I almost thought that there was still soap on my tat after I finished washing it off really gently. It wasn't it wasn't soap. It was like it's the gunk that comes up from your tattoo, and it's kind of slimy and kind of, I don't know. To me it looked like soap because it was like kind of bubble. I don't know. But now it's doing just fine. I put the smallest amount of Aquaphor on it this morning after I washed it really gently. Right after I got my tattoo done, it felt like the entire area that got tatted felt like a big giant bad rug burn. So you have that to look forward to. But that lasted only a couple of hours for me personally. I don't know how long it lasts for other people, but for me, the rug burn feeling lasted for a couple of hours, and then it was just done, and then it just started to just feel like sore and tender and everything, you know, because they're literally using needles to jab your skin. Yeah, when she was like just doing the lines and stuff, and she'd go over you know, doing the line work, it felt like somebody was pinching me like consistently pinching me. And when she would fill in the color and everything, because she's literally, it's almost like she's literally drawing in a coloring book, but with, you know, a bunch of needles. But when she would color in the color of the wings, that part felt like somebody was taking their fingernails and going like this. But when she would do it over and over again, when she would go over the same areas more than once, it either did not hurt anymore at all, or it hurt a heck of a lot less because, well, she had already been over that area with a needle. So my skin was just like, oh hey, it's not that bad this time around, or it doesn't hurt the second time around. But so far everything is good. It's just my arm is still a little bit swollen, you know, understandable, and a bit tender, also understandable, and it's a little goopy. I think some parts of it are starting to scab up a little bit, but that is completely normal. So I am learning new things every day. So that is day one. Well, the first morning after my tattoo. So this is my arm the morning after the tattoo got done, and it's a bit goopy, as you can kind of tell, and I'm sorry if the lighting is really bad, and I think some parts of it are a little scabby, but you can tell that my skin underneath and the surrounding areas are, I'm still pretty swollen. But this is what it looks like. It's kind of goopy looking. It looks really weird. I'm hoping the swelling goes down soon because I want my arm to look at least a little bit normal. So it is Sunday, August 27th, I believe. Yesterday was exactly 1 week from me getting my tattoo done. And yesterday I also took off the Sanoderm that I had on for like 6 days. And it's peeling. That's what it's doing now. It's in the peeling stages. It's itchy as heck. And should be healed up within the next week. Should be done peeling soon. It looks kind of gross and icky right now, but that's just part of the healing process. Well, we did get Sanoderm for my tattoo, which I put on I think the second or third day because that was when it came in the mail. And so what you do is like you cut off, actually I have it over here. It's what I use for my other tattoos too. So this stuff is pretty awesome. You use it basically right after you get your tattoo done. It's an adhesive bandage. It's called Sanoderm. This stuff is amazing. So what I do personally is when I get a tattoo now, when I get home and stuff like that, an hour or so after, I will wash my tattoo with warm soapy water. I'll pat it dry. I'll wait a minute for it to dry to make sure it's completely dry. I might put on a little bit of Aquaphor or something on it, and then I will take this Sanoderm stuff. This is what it looks like. Oh, there is a piece cut already. This is what it looks like right here. The Sanoderm. And then once your tattoo is dry and everything, and if you decide to put Aquaphor and stuff on it, you can. So with this, you cut out the size that you need for the tattoo that you have, and then you take off this plastic piece right here, the white part, just like that. And this part will be sticky. And what you want to do is you want to put the sticky part down on your tattoo. Now it's not going to stick to your tattoo. It's not going to stick to anything attached to that tattoo. It's just not going to happen. It might look like it is, but trust me, when it comes off and you're washing your tattoo off and everything, it's not going to stick to the tattoo part of your skin. Once you put that on there, you have to put it on there as smoothly as you can, and really slowly, and then oh gosh, I really don't want to waste this. When you put the sticky part on your tattoo, and you're done with that, you then there's a way to peel it off so that you just have that sticky part on your tattoo, and it looks like a sheet that you're wearing on your tattoo. You can sleep in it, you can take a shower in it. Don't douse it in water completely because of course it's gonna, you know, peel off. Make sure you have enough space around your tattoo so when fluid and stuff starts coming up from your tattoo, you have enough space on your Sanoderm sheet if you use this type of stuff to collect all of that and everything. But I put that on like the second or third day of my butterfly one, and it works amazingly. And I put it on, and then I took it off after 24 hours, and I washed it, and then I put it back on for a couple of days. Like, you can actually keep it on for a couple of days depending on how much gunk and stuff comes out, and you know, just what the healing process is and how big your, you know, it just makes healing so much easier. And I'm gonna put in some clips about, I'm going to put in some clips of my tattoo healing, and it took about 2 weeks for this one to heal. And this one was actually the one that took the longest to heal out of all of my other tattoos. Like even this one is currently still healing. It's peeling like crazy. I don't know if you could tell, but it's like peeling like crazy, and it's like really itchy. But this one will be healed faster than this one, honestly. And I think the artist who did this one, he was a little more light-handed, but the artist who did this one was a little more heavy-handed, in my personal opinion, from looking back at it now that I have a couple of tattoos. So so my tattoo healed after 2 weeks, and then it was done and over with. I enjoyed my first experience, and I really liked it. I think I was more nervous though. Like, I was just so nervous about everything. So that is my story time about getting my first tattoo. I was really nervous, mostly about the pain. But yeah, it's completely healed now. All good. Oh, with the healing process, I kept asking my husband so many different questions, and I was so like a hot mess after getting it done because I was so nervous about the healing process. I was like, why does it look like that? Why does it look like this? What is it doing? Why is it doing that? Like, I had no clue and nothing to base it off of, so I'm just like freaking out the entire healing process. He's like, it's okay. Okay? Like, it looks good. Like, it's okay. It was so funny. I was just like a hot mess. I hope you guys enjoyed that. If you guys have tattoos, like, what was your first tattoo experience and what was that like, and would you change anything about what you did or said, or, you know, was it good, was it bad? But tell me your first tattoo experience down in the comments below, and I will read through them, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!